Everyone. Welcome to MSS Mentorship and Online Classes. I am Mohamed Sheikh Sisse, your tutor and your mentor. So basically, today we are going through the orientation session for financial reporting for June 2026 examination. So basically, today's session we are going to look at the concept. We are going to look at the linkages of financial reporting, and also we are going to look at the timetable that we are going to work towards because we only have few time for the examination. So we need to do a detailed planning on how we can further the session together. So basically, when we are talking about financial reporting, it's an applied skill paper and also it is a compulsory paper. And basically, as an accountant, you need to know your financial reporting. You need to know your IFRSs and you need to know your IESs. So this is one of the key paper within the SCCA journey as an accountant that you need to know and you need to understand. And also, the understanding of financial reporting will give you a competitive advantage in other SCCA papers. For example, if you want to pass your audit and assurance examination, then it is obviously that you need to understand your IESs and your IFRSs because when you are going to look at audit risks, then for you to respond to audit risk question, your ISs and IFRSs should be good and also should be at par. So one advantage of financial reporting, it will help you to able to pass the audit and assurance examination. Then also for strategic business reporting, the professional level, your understanding of financial reporting will be carried forward to the strategic business reporting. Also, if you're going to look at taxation, which is very much important for the ACC examination, when we are going to calculate the tax adjusted trading profit, you need to know your financial statement. You need to know your IASs and your IFRSs because when we are going to adjust the accounting profit for tax purpose, then you need to know your statement of profit or loss and how you can adjust your depreciation, your non-tax item. So basically, the understanding of financial reporting will help you to understand your taxation as well. Then also, we are talking about the strategic business leadership, which is a professional paper as well. Understanding of financial reporting will help you to be able to give an insight about the strategic focus of the business. Because the whole concept about strategic business leadership, you need to know the pros and cons of the business. If the business wants to undertake a strategic decision, let's say for instance, the business wants to involve or the business wants to expand its operation, then you need to do your SWOT, you need to do your strength and your weakness, you need to do your cost and benefits analysis. So with the aim of the strategic business leadership, it will help you to be able to give a clear insight on how you need to do your SWOT analysis or your portal's five forces, whichever situation might be. So understanding the financial reporting will help you to give an insight about what particular figure in the financial statement is more risky as compared to the other. Then finally, the understanding of financial reporting will give you an insight about the financial management as well as the advanced financial management because when we are going to calculate your investment appraisal, when you are going to make your decision, we are going to use the accounting profit as part of the investment appraisal technique. So basically, if you have the understanding of financial reporting, it will help you to make a better investment appraisal decision for any type of project, whether it's international or whether it's a local investment appraisal. So basically, financial reporting focuses on IFRSs and IASs. Also, we are going to look at the consolidation of financial statement, which is very much important for the financial reporting examination. And more important is the interpretation of the published financial information. Because now the concept of accounting is currently moving from just the calculation or just the punching of figures. You need to know how to interpret, how to give clear justification of each figures. For example, if the gross profit margin has increased from 10% to 15%, as a business, you need to be in a position to give insights about what are the various causes of the increase in the gross profit margin, whether the sales revenue has increased, or whether the cost of sales has reduced, or whether the increase in revenue is not proportionately correspond to the increase in the cost. So you need to know, you need to give an insight about the potential causes of the increase in the gross profit margin, for example. So the interpretation of published financial information is key for the examination. And looking at the cost structure from the section C part, on quarterly basis, on every diet, ratio analysis comes up in the examination on every diet. So it is very much important we understand how to interpret and do our ratio analysis. So basically, we are going to look at the exam structure, which is key. You need to know your exam structure. Since now the exam is on computer based, the CBE platform. And so basically, the exam is 3 hours plus 10 minutes reading time. Now, the 10 minutes reading time will not be added to your 3 hours. For example, if you take, let's say, 5 minutes, you get into the examination criteria, the process, and other thing, the remaining 5 minutes will not be added to the 3 hours. Automatically, when the exam will launch, it will start 3 hours. And also, if you decided to use the whole 10 minutes for reading, then automatically the exam will launch on 3 hours. So your examination time, actual examination time is 3 hours. The 10 minutes is for you to read the pre-examination criteria and conditions. Then the format is a CBE. Now we have three sections for financial reporting. We have section A, which is a multiple choice question, 2 marks each, a component of 15 questions from section A. So the total marks for section A will be 30 marks. For section B, we have three case-based objective test questions. For example, the first portion will be 5 questions, scenario-based. The scenario will be given in the exam. For example, cash flow, ratio, whichever the scenario might be. Thereafter, from the scenario, you will have 5 questions to answer. Each question will carry a 2 marks. So the cumulative mark for section B will be 30 marks. Then section C will be 2 constructed response questions. Mostly in the examination, it will be on consolidation as well as ratio. These are the 2 key areas that frequently come up in the examination. So when we are going through the session, we are going to place key focus on consolidation as well as the ratio analysis, because understanding of ratio analysis and consolidation will give you up to 40% of the examination, while the remaining 60% can be from various accounting standards, IASs and IFRSs. Then the pass mark for the examination is 50%. Anything below 50% is not acceptable. 50 and above is the pass mark for the examination. So basically, we are going to look at the syllabus overview, which is key, because the syllabus overview will guide you on how you need to study and which area that you need to place more attention. So basically, we have the conceptual and the regulatory framework, which is key. As an accountant, you need to know your conceptual framework. So basically, the conceptual framework, we are going to look at it separately. For now, what you need to know about the conceptual framework and the regulatory framework. So we are going to look at the definition of the components of the financial statement. What is an asset, liability, equity, expenses, and income? You need to know the definition. And also, when we are going to apply it on the IASs and IFRSs, we are going to reference each IAS, how that particular IAS link with the conceptual framework. So this is the key takeaway that you are going to get from the syllabus overview. And also, we have the accounting standard, the IASs and the IFRSs. Key area you need to know. As an accountant, your greatest weapon should be your accounting standard. You need to know your IASs and your IFRSs, not the name. For instance, talking about IAS 60, I'm not talking about the name. You need to know the implementation. You need to know the adoption of each IASs and IFRSs. For example, IAS 16 is talking about the property, plant, and equipment. You need to know when to capitalize. You need to know when to de-recognize. You need to know when you need to recognize an asset or when you don't need to recognize an asset. Basically, you need to know how to depreciate your assets. You need to know how to unwind in case of the decommissioning, whichever the situation might be. So you need to know the actual implementation of your ISs and your IFRSs rather than knowing the name without knowing and understanding how you should apply IS this, IS that, and IS, whichever the situation might be. Also, you're going to look at the preparation of financial statements. Extract of the financial statement, you need to know how to prepare it. For example, if we are talking about the components of the financial statement, we're going to look at the statement of profit or loss, which is previously called the trading account. Also, we are going to look at the statement of financial position, which is the balance sheet. We're going to look at the statement of cash flow, which is as per IAS 7. Also, we are going to look at the statement of changes in equity, and we are going to look at the notes to accounts. So putting these five components together will give us the financial statement, which is a single document. So also, we are going to look at how we can prepare the financial statement for single entity, which for individual. Then also, we are going to look at the group account, the consolidation, how we can consolidate between the parent and the subsidiary. For example, the concept of consolidation is talking about the ownership, the greater than 50% voting right in X, Y, and Z company. So automatically, according to the substance over form, you need to bring the financial statements of the parent and the financial statement of the subsidiary together to prepare a single financial statement. Although individually, the parent will prepare a financial statement, the subsidiary will prepare a financial statement, but for the purpose of the substance over form, we need to prepare a single financial statement, a consolidated financial statement, which will show the picture of both entity, of entity A, which is the parent, and entity B, which is the subsidiary. Then finally, we are going to look at the analysis and interpretation of the financial statement of the account. So these are the syllabus areas, and we are going to cover all these areas before at least 2 weeks before the examination, so that we can use the remaining 2 weeks for solving past questions, taking mock, and do some analysis on the practice platform. Because also it is very much important, you need to understand the practice platform, the CB platform itself. You need to know when to highlight, when to copy, when to paste, how you can navigate within the computer-based examination platform. So now this is just a breakdown of the syllabus overview, the conceptual framework. We're going to look at the financial reporting framework, the IASB, the International Accounting Standard Board conceptual framework, and also we're going to look at the qualitative characteristics of useful information. The accounting standard, we are going to look at IASs and IFRSs. For example, in non-current assets, IAS 16, 38, 40, and 36. The current assets, we are going to look at IAS 2 inventory. We are going to look at IAS 10. We are going to look at IAS 37 provision, and we are going to look at IAS 20, the government grant. Also for liability, and also we are going to look at IASs and IFRSs from income as well as for expenses. The section C, we are going to look at the presentation of the financial statement, as I mentioned earlier, looking at the components of financial statement, statement of profit or loss, statement of financial position, changes in equity, notes to account, and the cash flow. And also we are going to look at the consolidation, which has to do with the subsidiary, the associate, and the joint arrangement. And also we're going to look at the intergroup adjustments, how we can adjust transaction between the parent and the subsidiary within the group structure, how we can account for the intergroup transaction. Don't worry about it. We are going to look at it separately. And also, we are going to look at the consolidated statement of profit or loss and the P&L. Then finally, the syllabus overview, we are going to focus on the ratio analysis. As I mentioned earlier, you need to know how to make a meaningful information from the historic financial information, from the gross profit margin, from the net profit margin, from the quick ratio, from the acid test ratio, from the current ratio, from the receivable collected period, from the payables. We need to look at all of these ratios analysis, and we need to bring out some meaningful financial decision from the ratios, from the figures. Then also it is very much important to understand the limitation of ratio analysis. which we are going to work through it, and also we are going to look at the interpretation for different stakeholders. How the government can benefit from your ratio analysis, how the shareholders can benefit from the ratio analysis, how the employee can benefit from the ratio analysis, how the investors can benefit from your ratio analysis. So basically, this is the syllabus overview that you need to know. And by the end of the June examination, we are going to cover everything on the syllabus overview, and we are going to do an extensive revision, solving past questions, and also we are going to take mock examination. So now, basically, we are going to browse through the study plan, which is very much important. We are going to browse through the study plan, and also we are going to map the study plan with the practice platform. The duration for this session, we are going to start from the 25th of March 2026, which will be on Wednesday, but we are going to discuss it further because I need a day which we are going to select each week that we are going to conduct the live online session. The end period will be the 30th of May. The remaining few days, because the examination will be the first week on June. So the 30th of May will be the last session. We need to cover everything. Then the mode of this platform will be the recording session. I'm going to I've already completed the recording session. You can access it via my website. All recording video, IES 16, conceptual framework, IFRS 15, IFRS 9, whichever accounting standard, you can access it through my website. Also, on weekly basis, we are going to get live online class. For example, week one, we are going to target conceptual framework or introduction to financial reporting. Thereafter, we are going to cover the detail of the week one um, study plan. And also for each study plan, we are going to solve past questions from the kit and also from the practice platform, because we need to have the actual taste of the examination, questions in the examination. So now this is the timetable. Um, I'm going to share this note with you. For week one, which is the 25th of March, the recording session, you can access it through my website. We are going to look at the introduction to financial reporting, plus the conceptual framework, plus the financial statement. So basically, for week one, we are going to focus on these three areas. So we are going to solve past questions relating to introduction to financial reporting, conceptual framework, and the financial statement. Week two, we are going to focus on IES 16, IES 38, IES 40, and we are going to solve past question on each of these IESs and IFRSs. So for week three, we are going to focus on IES 36, 23, and IES 37. So basically, this is the timetable that we are going to work towards. So my advice will be, you need, for example, if we are going to take the class on the 25th of March on Wednesday, which we are going to agree as a team by the end of this session, and now you are going to go through the recording session, the introduction to financial reporting and the conceptual framework. Go to my website, access this recording session, look at the notes. Thereafter, when we are going to do the live online class, it will be an interactive session, because the basis for the live online class is basically to explain the key principle. I'm not going to explain everything about conceptual framework, about the introduction to financial reporting anymore. We are going to focus on key strategic areas for the examination. For example, I'm going to explain to you the distinction between the qualitative characteristics and the fundamental characteristics. Also, we are going to look at the definition of assets. We are going to look at the definition of liability. We are going to look at the definition of the elements of the financial statement. So I'm going to explain the key areas, the strategic areas for the examination, and the areas that are frequently tested on this particular subject matter is what we are going to focus on the live online session. Also, I'm going to encourage questions from everyone. We can discuss and we can bring suggestion, recommendation on how we can, improve whichever session need to be improved on. So basically, the live online class will focus on an extensive revision on strategic areas, solving past questions, and we are going to discuss on the issues. relating to the subject matter that we are going to cover for that particular week. For example, if we are talking about week 2, we are going to discuss about IAS 16, IAS 38, and IAS 40, which is the investment property. So I'm going to explain the key bits of IAS 16, I'm going to explain the key bits of IAS 38, and I'm going to explain the key bits of IAS 40, investment property. Thereafter, I'm going to solve questions from the kit. Also, if you are going to look through my notes, I've already included um, at least five questions for each accounting standard for each subject matter. For example, IAS 16, I have included five at least questions from the kit on IAS 16, IAS 38 as well, and IAS 14. So we are going to use these kit questions so that we can able to see we are able to have the right feeling in the examination when it comes to the questions. So basically, the phase 2, we are going to look at revision and past question practice, which is very much important for the examination. So the 13th of March to the 30th of March will be, we are going to focus specifically on detailed revision. We are going to look at the recording section in full, and we are going to look at cash flow and interpretation of financial statement, the ratio analysis, and also we are going to look at the exam technique, which is very, 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 very much important for section C to be specific. We are going to look at the exam technique, how you can answer your ratio question, how you can analyze your ratio, how you can interpret your ratio, and also for the consolidation, how you can calculate your statement of profit or loss, and how you can calculate your consolidation for the financial position. So basically, the other week we are going to cover the mock exam, and also I'm going to give you feedback based on the outcome of the mock and how best we have able to understand the concept of their financial reporting. Then the final session will be the exam technique plus final tip. On the last day, the 30th of May, we are going to have a WhatsApp discussion where we're going to discuss the key concept. We are going to look at some exam technique, and also we are going to form some workshop where we can able to discuss further and prepare the mindset for the examination. So basically, this is how we are going to walk through the financial reporting session for the June 2026 examination. So the key skills students need, you need to know your numerical, basically the application of IFRS and ISs in practice questions. So that's why we are going to focus on how best we can practice as best as possible. We need to practice all questions from the kits. We need to solve all questions from the kits. You know, the greater portion of the work you need to do it. I'm here to make the points so clear for you, explain key concept, then you need to do your practice to ensure that you understand the concept. Also, we are going to look at the analytical, understanding the scenario judgment in the accounting, very much important because, for example, if we are going to talk about how to depreciate assets that is acquired mid-term of the year, you need to know when you need to start your depreciation and how are you going to prorate your depreciation. You need to have the understanding of the scenario, and you need to know what IFRS is and what IES is stated about how you can calculate depreciation and when are you going to start charging the depreciation. Very important. Also, we are going to look at time management, which is key for the examination. Now, for time management, it's simple. The total marks for the exam is 100 marks, and the time allocated is 3 hours. So basically, each question you need to spend 1.8 minutes. For each question, you need to spend 1.8 minutes. So now, if we are going to look at section A, which is 30 marks. So the time that you're going to spend should be the 1.8 marks multiplied by the 30 marks. So that's the total mark you need to spend on section A alone. So when you are finished spending that particular time on section A, whether you completed section A or not, you need to move to another section. But don't worry about it. When we are going to do the live online class, I'm going to take you to how to manage your time because it is very much important. I can remember when I was attempting the advanced audit and assurance. The first question on advanced audit and assurance is 50 marks, which is risks. It can be audit risks and it can be a business risks, 50 marks. Then the remaining two questions will be 25 marks each. So I can remember when I started to attempt the 50 marks question, I allocated 1 hour, 30 minutes because it's 3 hours examination. I allocated 1 hour, 30 minutes for the 50 marks question. So by the time I started to go in depth to the question, the time is already finished. So what I did, I leave that particular question uncompleted. Thereafter, I proceed to the other aspects of the examination, the section B, the 25 marks each. So at the end of the day, I'm able to complete the examination. And at the same time, no matter how much time you decided to spend on section A, which is the 50 marks, you will not get above 50 marks on that particular examination. This is the key aspect about time management. For example, if the question is 10 marks, you need to spend 50 minutes on that particular question, no matter how long you decided to spend on that particular question. If you decided to take the whole day, you will not get above 10 marks for that particular question. So whenever your allocated time for that particular section is completed, you need to move on because there will be more easier marks in other areas as compared to the current area that you're struggling to, to navigate within the particular examination. At the end of the day, I obtained the pass mark required for the examination, although I did not cover the whole 100% of the examination, but because of the proper time management, I'm able to obtain the pass mark that is required for the examination. So time management is very key for the examination. Time management is very, 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 very key. You can understand the concept, you can understand everything. But if you fail to manage your time, at the end of the day, you're not going to pass the examination. The presentation also, which is very much important for section C, you need to know how to present your working, how to calculate. If you are asked to do your ratio analysis, you need to prepare by heading. For example, if you are going to analyze the performance of the business, if you are going to analyze the position of the business, if you are going to analyze the liquidity status of the business, or if you are going to analyze for the investors, you need to know each category, the performance, you need to know which ratios you are going to calculate. If you are talking about the liquidity, you need to know which ratios. If you are talking about the investors' interest, you need to know which ratios that you are going to analyze under that particular heading. So you need to know the structural approach in the examination. It is very key so that you can have the maximum marks. Also, when you are going to present or when you're going to calculate your consolidation, it's very much important. You need to show your group structure. You need to show when you are going to consolidate the parent and the subsidiary, the intergroup trading, whichever calculation you are going to do, you need to present it clearly and in a structural manner. For example, the group structure, the calculation of the net assets for the subsidiary, the calculation of the NCI, the calculation of the goodwill. You need to structure this particular computation so that the examiner can able to understand that the point A is the group structure, the B is the net asset, the C is the NCI, the D is the goodwill calculation. That structural approach is needed in the examination. You need to present your work clearly and you need to label your work very clearly. If you are going to answer section C, Roman 1, then it means you need to indicate it clearly. Roman 2, you need to indicate it clearly. So basically, this is the approach to learning with MSS. We are going to look at the weekly recording video. We are going to look at weekly live online class. We are going to practice kits, and also we are going to get mock exam. And very important again, you can, for example, if you are doing your self-study on your own, you did not understand a specific concept or you want to solve question you did not understand, you can snap that particular question, you forward it on the WhatsApp group, we can discuss it as a team, or you forward it to me individually. But I'm going to encourage everyone, we snap the question, we forward it on the WhatsApp group so that everyone can contribute and we can discuss it as a team, because we are going to do this session as a team. We are not going to do it in isolation. So basically, um, this is the approach that we're going to use. Then the study strategy, you need to attend all session, which is very much important. On on weekly basis, you need to create time for the live online class because the time is limited. Then also you need to practice daily. At least you need to spend 3 hours on a daily basis to practice the multiple choice question plus the section C. Then also you need to summarize your IFRS and IESs. You need to have separate notebook for your IESs and your IFRSs, you need that particular notebook to summarize your key concept. Why that notebook is important? Because when the examination time is limited, for example, it's a week for the examination, you need that particular material that you can browse through, that you can do a detailed revision within 1 or 2 days. Very much important. You need that particular book that you're going to look at within the twinkle of an eye. You can complete, for example, IS 16, IS this, IS this. You're just going to browse through the book, then you can able to, it can serve as a detailed revision for you. So you need that particular, summarize notebook. Also, you need to review the examiner report, and we are going to look at it together because the examiner report will give you the updated aspects, the updated areas that you need to focus on, and how you can address the potential changes within the syllabus. Also, the time management, as I mentioned earlier, the 1.8 minutes per mark, very important. You need to take note of it. Then you need to stay focused. Always practice under time condition. Very, 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 very much important. Always, when you're going to solve questions from the kit, we're going to time ourselves. For example, if you're going to solve 5 questions, each question, each objective test question, we are not going to spend more than 1.8 minutes. Whether it's calculation or whether it's narrative, whichever the situation might be, we are not going to spend 1.8 minutes per question. Then basically, this is the closing message, and there's no need for you to memorize the standard. As I mentioned earlier, you need to understand the standard and you need to know how you can apply the standard in real life, which is very much important. So you need to stay consistent. You need to practice regularly. Very important for the examination. Regularly practice is important. And also, you need to ask questions. You need to ask questions whenever you have challenge in terms of your studying. Then also, with discipline and hard work, to be frank, you're going to pass your financial reporting. I can remember the December examination. I have about 5 students for financial reporting on first attempt. 4 of them obtained their pass mark on the first attempt. So you don't need to worry about anything. You just need to stay disciplined. You stay with my guidelines and we work together as a team so that we can able to achieve whatever we want to, the pass mark that we are going to get for the June examination. So basically, this is the end of the orientation session for financial reporting. So we need to, I don't know if we can discuss it on the group, we need to discuss the day within the week from Monday to Thursday that we are going to select for the live online class. And also, we need to arrange the time. Why I decided to put it 7:30 because for the Muslims, we are going to pray 7:10 after 7. So it is better after we have completed our prayer, then we can start the live online class, but we can discuss on the time as well. So thank you very much for your time and your audience. I don't know if we can discuss on the. You have any question first before going to the discussion? Do you have any question? Hello, guys. Are
No,
you with
sir.
me?
No, no question from me.
What about the others? Any question?
So far, I'm fine. No questions so far.
Okay.
No question for me again. I guess we can discuss the time here. It's more accurate for me here.
Okay, fine. So from Monday to Thursday, which day are we going to select? Well, I'm not going to include weekends because in most cases, I'm going to travel to Freetown on Saturdays, sometimes on Fridays, sometimes on Saturdays, and I'm going to return on Sundays. It will be difficult for me. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is out of the equation. So from Monday to Thursday, we can select a specific day and we can agree on the time that we are going to do the live online class. Any suggestion for Monday to Thursday?
Yeah,
I
Monday.
think for me, Tuesday will be better
Yeah,
because
I was
more
thinking on Tuesday.
Yeah, Monday is kind of hectic, so
Exactly.
Tuesday will be better.
Any contrary, any
Um,
suggestion alternative to that?
I'm in support of Tuesday.
Okay. What about the others?
It's okay. I'm fine. I'm fine about it. It's
Yeah,
okay.
it's okay. So the only question is that what will be the time
Yeah,
on
that we are,
Tuesday?
yeah, we are going to discuss it as well. But for me, I'm proposing the 7:30 to 9:30. We can discuss the time as well. Which time is better because we are all engaging. So we need time to off, then we need time to go home, settle down, and do our necessary connection so we can able to catch up. That's why it's just once in a week, not on daily basis.
Tuesday is okay, and 7:30 to 9:30 is fine.
Yeah, same here.
So any alternative time, Jennifer?
So yes.
Yes, I'm
I'm okay
listening.
with 7:30. It's okay. 7:30
So
no
so
bad.
how about so how about 8 p.m. Because for me realistically maybe I get caught up with work then know at times the pressure in the office. So for me I'm going with the opinion for 8. I don't know for you guys if we can meet in the middle and finalize on something that is going to be well for all of us.
Okay, so what is our takes? Do you agree? Do you
For
agree?
me,
Mm.
let's say because at times maybe some people will be late or so. So if we say 7:30 at most, let's say
Okay,
seven forty-five, 8 o'clock, we start. For
okay,
me, because I don't want us to put it late. Maybe there will be some,
yeah, yeah.
delays or something. But 7:30, maybe at most 7:45, 8, we kick start. I don't know. But I think
Okay,
7:30 is okay. So if we're going to delay, maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah, with regards to the delay, based on the past experience, not from my own part, from the students. So we can agree because I really want us to stick on a specific time because I have lots of other things to do. I'm currently doing the recording session for auditing and financial management. So basically, if we are going to agree on 7:30, we need to stick promptly on 7:30. All necessary arrangements I'm going to do it before 7:30. If we're going to stick on 7:45, we need to be prompt about 7:45. Maximum 5 minute allowance should be given, but not more than 5 minutes because it will not be nice whilst we are doing, others are joining, and at the same time I'm going back and forth so that everyone can be on the same page. That's the problem I've been experiencing in the previous session. So I really want to solve that particular challenge this time around so that we are going to achieve the most on the session. So we can agree, say 7:45 or 7:40, which is fine. I don't have any problem with any time after 7, 7:30, 7:45. I don't have any problem with that.
No, I think 7:30 to 7:45 is good.
Mohammed,
So we don't
I
have
think
time.
for me, 8 o'clock will be the best time.
Okay, for now, I will advise let's start 7:45.
yeah. That
No
that will
problem.
work. It will work. Yeah,
That
It
will
will,
be
it will
sounds
be
better.
good.
too late because we are talking about 2 hour session. 8, 9, 10.
Yes. Yes. 7:45 is okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's nice. I believe that 50 minutes gap will make up for any